Hi everyone, how's it going? So glad that you're here with me today because we have a very special lunar eclipse in the Pisces sign that's coming up, and that's going to happen on the 7th of September. So we are already in the eclipse energy and in the portal right now. So it's a full moon lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of the sign of Pisces. So it's a big moment of release. Full moons are always about culmination and endings, but an eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. So it's also conjunct the North Node of Destiny. So this is really a moment when there can be illusions that like pop and like we can see the final truth in all of these things because Pisces is the final sign of endings. So yeah, I'm going to break down what the eclipse means for the entire collective. And also I'm going to look at the Sabian symbol and of course the degree theory. And I'm also going to walk you through each of the 12 rising signs. So make sure you grab a tea and a notebook so you can write down what you can like encounter during these interesting times for sure. So let's take a deep dive into all of the magic that this Pisces eclipse is gonna offer. And it's not only magic because Pisces, the downside of that is a bit difficult to say the least. So I'm gonna highlight the pros and the cons as you're all used of me always like that. So hello, Sparkle and Grit, and good morning, Amy, and hey, Laura. Glad you guys are all with me here today. So let's take a deep dive into what the sign of Pisces has to offer for each and every one of us. So these are like I've put an emphasis on the more positive sides of Pisces because I do, however, think that this is the most positive eclipse of all the four that we are witnessing this year. I'm gonna be honest, the next one, the Virgo solar eclipse that we're gonna see on the 21st of September, that will be way more difficult. And of course, the energies, they overlap, and we're already a bit early into eclipse season because we had the new moon 2 weeks ago in the sign of Virgo as well. So this time we're going to have two new moons in the sign of Virgo, which puts a lot of emphasis on the sign of Virgo. So yeah, the Pisces Virgo axis really gets a full dose this month. So Pisces, it is dreams, intuition, compassion, empathy. But let's just mention that Saturn just dropped back into the sign of Pisces. It just went retrograde. So this eclipse is, of course, accompanied by Saturn, Granddaddy Saturn, the one who's very strict, very tough, who is like the taskmaster, puts up a lot of boundaries, issues, challenges to overcome. So yeah, even though this eclipse trines Jupiter, which is about having faith and having to go through some important lessons, because Jupiter is the teacher of the zodiac, and then we have Granddaddy Saturn joined here into the mix as well. So yeah, definitely an interesting combination. Not the easiest of energy that's going on right now. I think you've already felt that strongly. Saturn and Neptune dipping back in Pisces for the last time is going to be really difficult for a lot of people unless you're on your spiritual path and you're very spiritually evolved. Maybe you are a monk sitting on some kind of mountain away from all the daily stress and impulses. And yeah, if you're a monk, you're probably not going to suffer as greatly or dearly from this eclipse energy. Everyone else, I think it's safe to say that the collective is not very evolved to have like the better qualities of Pisces getting highlighted in their life, but still we are each on our journey and we're all learning from each other and from the harsh lessons that Saturn is about to hand over to us. So yeah, Pisces, it doesn't know any boundaries. It's oneness, it's wholeness, it's like connecting each and every one, and also it's about spirituality, the unseen realms. This lunar eclipse, however, can be very big spiritual divine intervention that's coming forth for you. So even though if not everything is going according to plan, just know that it's for the better, and everything that falls away, even though that can be quite painful and very very difficult. It's for the best. And when we look back on this time period, because it trines to Jupiter, we're all gonna think like, okay, well, it was painful and it was difficult, but now I'm glad that this actually happened because it brought me this instead. So this is about full moon lunar eclipses are about big release, big culmination, letting things go. Eclipses are full moons on steroids. So yeah, this is like an extra dose of the sign of Pisces that we are about to encounter in our lives. So the more negative manifestations of Pisces are, of course, lies, deceit, hidden enemies are part of Pisces as well. It's about deception big time and about illusions as well. So I think as a collective, it's going to be more in this direction, in the more negative threats. But if we just surrender, this is also part of Pisces, if we succeed in surrendering to the unknown, to the to the things that make us a little bit uncomfortable, and if we get out of our comfort zone and really dive into the whole mystical journey that Pisces is about to offer us, then we can really make the best of it. So thank you so much, Arno. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting me each and every time. That's really sweet. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, Arno. So if we then look at the place where the eclipse is gonna go over our world, then we can see here. Oh, why doesn't? Okay, there it is. So here we can see where the blood moon is gonna be fully full and illuminating the parts of the world, and of course, if we then look at the geodetic map for the sign of Pisces, then this is the place in the world that it rules over. So the geodetic map, this is actually the whole world that's divided into each of the 12 zodiac signs. So we look at this region, we look at the region where the eclipse is totally full, and then we also, I looked at some countries that are actually ruled by Pisces, and that is actually Northern Africa, Southeast Asia, but also Normandy, Portugal, Monaco, Morocco, and Egypt as well. If we then zoom in on some particular cities, then Egypt comes up again, Alexandria and Egypt. We have Bournemouth, we have Kos and Grimsby in the UK. I think the UK will be strongly implicated by this eclipse. But also Regensburg and Worms if you live in Germany, and Sevilla in Spain as well. And if we then tie everything together, what really stands out to me is that Portugal has a Pisces rising. So Portugal comes up several times. It does have a Pisces rising. Also Spain, Pakistan, Iceland, Ireland, and India all have a Pisces rising. So if you then look at where it all comes together, then Iceland, it will be strong over Iceland. It will be full. Iceland is in the geodetic map here in the sign of Pisces. I think Iceland, Egypt, but also Portugal can come up really strongly, and the UK as well. And within Pisces lunar eclipse, if we look back at historic cycles, we also always see some kind of issues with storms or floods and an overwhelm of rain, torrential rains, floods, all these things, they all tend to come along when we have an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. Pisces rules over water, over the ocean. We're gonna see some tension in the flow of the ocean as well. And with the flow, I mean, of course, the water, but also the flow of distributes and of products over the ocean as well. So these are things that can be a little bit hit by the eclipse as well. So if we don't look at the chart, then an eclipse, like, we always have free will. That's like a no-brainer. But whenever an eclipse comes in, there's less free will, and there are more rare and fated sequences of events. This is actually the first of two eclipses in the month of September. So 2 weeks later, we're going to have a Virgo solar eclipse that is actually framed by two Virgo new moons, this lunar eclipse. So yeah, the alignment it's not random. It's yeah, a very big emphasis on the spiritual and physical health axis. So Pisces rules over toxicity in all forms, and then Virgo rules over the purification of it. So, yeah, eclipses, they always bring some crisis of awareness. And yeah, Pisces, that is like the stripping away of all illusions and really revealing what has been hidden in our personal, but also in our collective lives. And yeah, a lunar eclipse really intensifies emotional currents, and yeah, it forces us to really acknowledge what we rather keep in the dark. So yeah, Pisces, yeah, things that have been hidden behind our back, secret enemies, a lot of that can get revealed under this energy. So yeah, this particular one falling in Pisces, it really calls us to reckon with our deepest sensitivities, because Pisces, it is a sponge. It takes on all other people's sensitivities and then it doesn't know what to do with it a lot of times. That's why we need to meditate, why we need to cleanse, why we need to heal. Pisces also rules over our grief, our deepest grief from our entire life and even our past lives. It's also it brings a longing for transcendence. So it, yeah, the Virgo Pisces axis, it really highlights the tension between our need to analyze and organize and control the sign of Virgo versus our longing to actually dissolve all of our problems and to forgive and to merge with each and everyone around us. So yeah, where are we clinging to certainty when life is really calling for us to surrender? So eclipses, they always represent a threshold moment, and we are now right on the doorstep. Do we enter or do we leave? It's like standing on the edge of a bridge. We are like between two worlds, no longer who we were or where we were, and not yet where we need to be. So yeah, clarity is going to come later after we are able to surrender to the mystery of the in-between moment. So yeah, imagine standing on the edge of a shoreline. Virgo represents the sand that is beneath our feet. It is firm, but it shifts with every tide. And Pisces is the ocean. It is boundless. It is unknowable. It is very, very wide, very big, and the eclipse really pulls us into the surf. And the waves, they erase the lines that we've drawn in the sand, and it really asks us to trust all the currents, even if we are barely trying to managing to keep afloat. So the most impacted signs are, of course, if you have Pisces placements between 13 and 17 degrees, you're gonna receive a direct hit. So all Pisces Sun, Moon, or Rising, very deeply personal, very karmic, very transformative. But also, if you're on the opposite side of the wheel, if you have any Virgo placements between 13 and 17, then you receive an opposition. So yeah, can be shifts in relationships, major turning points in that. But also Gemini and Sagittarius. So all the mutable signs, Gemini and Sagittarius, you guys are going to receive a square. That can be a bit more stressful, but just know that it's growth oriented in regards to your career, home, identity, and direction in life. So yeah, chapters are going to shift very, very dramatically. And let me know if you've already been feeling the energy. Are there already many shifts happening? Because an eclipse can be felt up to a month before and it has to play out 6 months after. So it takes really a while. Some astrologers say a year. Whoever, yeah, it's the big shifts don't always happen the day itself, but it's like surrounding the date that it happens. So yeah, it's Virgo is really order, Pisces is chaos. Virgo is discernment, Pisces is surrender. So yeah, we need to really balance the analytical mind with our compassionate heart. The really the highlight here is yeah, the axis really highlights the split between control and fate. Virgo really fears imperfection. It is really striving to manage and purify every detail. And Pisces fears separation and is really longing to merge and also to escape limitation. So yeah, this eclipse is going to reveal where our lives have been, yeah, tilted too far into one pole. Where are we either drowning in the details, or where are we lost in the tides of our own confusion and the confusion that's been surrounding us and the whole collective? So yeah, eclipses, they always ripple onto the global stage, of course. And when Pisces is involved, we can expect themes of collective suffering, compassion, disillusionment. We're going to see big leadership shifts. Yeah, revelations regarding the leaders who have been deceiving the collective as well. And yeah, water is going to be a problem as well. That's why a lot of people can suffer, why we need compassion, why we maybe need some humanitarian help as well. But yeah, the collective really mirrors the individual psyche. So all the crises that we're going to see out there really reflect the unresolved shadow material of humanity. It's going to reflect our avoidance of grief. It's about our addictions to illusion. It's about our longing for merging and transcendence with each and every one of us. So yeah, the eclipse really is going to show us that we are all caught up in the same dream, and we are actually wrestling with the same currents. Doesn't matter where you are on your spiritual journey. Everyone has to go through kind of the same emotions and the same things, especially if you have spiritual awakening. So hey, Ma'am Jax, good morning. So many challenges. I totally understand you, Ma'am Jax. Yeah, it's not been easy, not for me, not for the people around me. Arnold says, I cried 2 times yesterday and the day before, no kidding. Yeah, well, Pisces, it is also about release. So actually, the best thing you can do is crying. It is when we cry, our cortisol levels, which are the hormones for which what we produce whenever we encounter stress. Whenever we cry, you can look at that as like a balm to really calm down those cortisol levels. It is a release of cortisol. So if you feel it coming up, don't fight it. Just let it go. It's very, very natural to be in a state of a bit of despair and dreams not coming true or illusions that are getting shattered. So yeah, that is not interesting. And Lakeside Laura says, interesting. I wonder how it will affect us, Pluto Uranus conjunction in the house of Virgo people. Yeah, that's like a very generational aspect, but definitely some surprises in regards to how you hold your power. And if you are holding your power away, and if other people are deceiving you, in which you lose your power and all of that. And Uranus is going to bring you more awareness, and it's going to really show you where you are giving away your power or where you are misusing it. So yeah, it's also about spiritual bypassing, like for the whole collective, and that's going to be a strong one as well. But it's conjunct the North Node. These are all very fated and destined encounters that we need to go through right now. So yeah, it's. And Mem Jack says, I am bad about retaining any emotions. Don't you dare cry, is what I tell myself. Yeah, that's how we are all brought up. And like, that's for a reason why they conditioned us that way. They don't want us to show our softness. A lot of people link crying to weakness, while actually crying and really showing yourself in a vulnerable way, that is like true strength. But we are all too much in our masculine side, and I feel a lot of women are too much in their masculine side, and I feel a lot of men are too much in their feminine side, and we need to like rebalance that out again as well. Like when I look around on the streets, I see a lot of women taking the bag, going to the beach, carrying everything, while the man just walks behind and he's scrolling on his phone. And I'm like, well, yeah, just like be real man, like help your woman out, carry the bags. Yeah, we need some more gentlemen, and that is also Pisces, getting lost and not really being able to tap into your own identity. Yeah, it's just not an easy sign. So yeah, let's just continue, because there's like a lot to talk about today. And here we go. So it happens at 15 degrees of Pisces, and 15 degree of any sign, it is actually the critical middle point. So sometimes it's called the degree of crisis of maturity as well. It is actually the point where the lessons of that sign really crystallize fully and demand a lot of integration. So Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. It resonates very strongly with surrender, with release, with spirituality. There's really a heightened focus here on letting go of illusions, on dissolving the boundaries that no longer serve us, and with Saturn here to really draw up some new boundaries. So a lot of people, which we are maybe too forgiving towards, are not able anymore to deceive us. And like Pisces really aligns with serving a higher truth. And 15 degrees of Pisces, it is actually a Gemini degree. So there's an extra layer. Pisces brings this compassion, flow, and spiritual release, and Gemini really adds a current of communication and perception, and also a lot of duality, the twins, good and bad. So there's a double emphasis here on good and bad, actually. So because it's at the Gemini degree, it's also about really speaking out and naming what we are releasing. Gemini is very curious, it's very verbal. Mercury rules that sign, and that really puts an extra emphasis on relationships as well, because this eclipse is at the 15th degree. Then we have the Virgo solar eclipse, and that's in Virgo. So Virgo's ruler is Mercury, and Mercury will be in Libra during this time. So yeah. It could also be very important to journal, to have very mystical conversations in which you really, get the truth out of the matter as well, because Uranus is going to station retrograde a day before this lunar eclipse. So expect a lot of truth that is going to emerge from the higher realms. And not all truth is pretty. And sometimes reality is not as easy, definitely not with Saturn now jumping back into Pisces as well. So think and focus on sudden downloads, on clarity that can come through writing, through speaking, and even dreams that can feel like you are being handed some riddles that need to be decoded. So another big factor is everyone has their own truth. And that is also something that's going to be very implicated by the sign of Pisces. And it is possible because Gemini, the flavor of Gemini in the sign of Pisces, it tells us that wisdom, it doesn't arrive in these neat linear answers. It's going to come in fragments, in signs, in paradoxes as well. And we know that there can be two truths at once. And Gemini really asks us to hold the paradox, while Pisces invites us to really trust the mystery. And together they're like saying that you don't have to fully explain the entire depth of the ocean. You just need to take some effort into learning its language and in trying to understand each other. So here there's like a cosmic dialogue between the mind and spirit. So Pisces gives us flow, and the challenge here is to let those words really carry inspiration without actually trying to control everything that's happening right now. So if we then look at the Sabian symbol for today, which is like really, really interesting. When I read the Sabian symbol, I actually got excited because it is in the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration. So this really puts an emphasis on solitude, on inspiration, on spiritual downloads, which are all Pisces traits. And when I read the word flow and inspiration, these are all Pisces traits as well. So yeah, it's not about the external noise. It is about an inner revelation where something really quietly reshapes the course of our lives. And with this lunar eclipse, which is supercharged at the midpoint degree, it really dissolves what is false while amplifying our intuition and our creativity and also healing in all those forms. And with the trine to Jupiter, which is exalted in Cancer, it is about healing and about inspiration. And that is going to come when you allow yourself to release control, surrender, and trust in the flow. So, yeah, Pisces, it is like a river. If the waters are very turbulent with overthinking, which is Virgo, the other side of the wheel, with distractions, Pisces, with escapism, if you're too caught up in all of that, inspiration cannot be heard. But when the waters are calm and the subconscious is free from any restraint, then that is going to deliver a lot of breakthroughs. So we must retreat inward, we must dissolve the external noise, and we need to really, really trust our inner guidance system right now. And don't try to force things. The truth is going to arrive without any effort. So, yeah. And then Pisces. Pisces is also such a paradox because we need to, to create something, we must surrender. And unlike any other signs that are actually built by force of will, think about Aries and Scorpio, Pisces is going to build through openness, through faith, through flow as well. So it's really a big reminder that inspiration, it is not owned. It is not something that is there all of the time. It is something that passes through us. So with the 15 degrees Gemini and the Sabian symbol, there's a big sense of, we all need to be a channel for universal wisdom. And we need to let go of the ego's grip. And we also need to recognize that wisdom, it is not mine, it is ours, and it actually belongs to the entire collective as well. So boundaries are gonna blur, and something larger can enter. Make sure that it is positive, whatever you let enter your aura field. So just a reminder that the universe speaks directly to us if we really are open for it. The flow of inspiration is going to come when we release control, and what might feel like a big ending or a loss or some dissolution is in fact really creating a sacred space for creativity, wisdom, and spirituality to come rush in whenever we release the things that really hold us back. So, and Sparkle and Grit says, I have been so inspired lately. Well, that is actually a big sign that you are actually on your correct spiritual journey. A lot of people right now are feeling more tired, needing more rest, but they're actually being forced to really retreat and unwind so that they can be inspired just like you. So if we then go back to the chart, then we see that there's a trine from Jupiter to the North Node and to the eclipse. So the direction is really to growth and to compassion and intuition and forgiveness. And also, it's like we need to trust the unseen currents of life right now. A lot of people are going to feel like they're stepping into a fog, unable to really see what lies ahead. But the fog is actually the teacher right here with the trine to Jupiter. So it really forces us to develop more faith and inner vision as well. And we need to know that we're now being thrown into the cosmic womb with the North Node conjunct eclipse as well. So that actually new destined creation can emerge. Pisces is being pulled towards your true spiritual path. even if it means leaving behind some familiar illusions. So expect a lot of fated encounters, especially with the trine to Jupiter. Jupiter is about wisdom, higher knowledge. Pisces is about spirituality. So yes, this is definitely one of the better eclipses that I've seen. But still, with Virgo coming up, that's going to be a whole other story. But with this one, expect a lot of synchronicities and a lot of inner awakenings that will mark, your path ahead during this time. And the Sabian symbol of like the disciplined training, it also speaks directly to the North Node's demand, because the North Node is where we need to go to, and growth really requires a lot of practice. And for Pisces, destiny is not found in waiting for miracles on the couch, but it is in committing to your soul path and to your destiny. And just like a lot of people are searching, what is my destiny? And what if your destiny is just being you and just shining your light fully into this world, which is not always easy. So it's like it's really time to train the soul's muscles right now. And we also see in opposition that there is the Sun and Mercury that are near the South Node in Virgo, and this eclipse emphasizes again release. What no longer serves us. If we have been going through these old loops, if we've been suffering from obsessive analysis, perfectionistic ideas, all these things must be shed. So stop being too critical on yourself and on others, because you're helping no one with that. This is not about destruction. It is about purification, that we need to clear really a lot of space for new growth in a spiritual way. The South Node, of course, it really symbolizes these outworn habits of the mind. And many are going to feel confronted with their own patterns of overthinking, of hypercriticism, and self-doubt as well. The eclipse is really going to act like a mirror, and it's really going to show us where we've become addicted to the wrong people who are stealing our light, and where we have become enslaved to systems that actually no longer nourish our souls. So we need to declutter the room, spiritual and physical. And the dusty relics of the past must really be carried out before any new light can enter. So make space for the unknown, and also know that emptiness, it is not a void. It is actually a lot of potential that is being found in that. And there's also mutual reception here. Jupiter is in Cancer, and Jupiter belongs to Pisces, and there's an eclipse in Pisces, but the moon, of course, rules Cancer. So, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. It is a sign of nurturing and our family and our home, and it's about emotional safety, and the fact that it forms a flowing trine to the eclipse itself. This is so beautiful. It is a promise of growth. And it acts here as a gentle supporter and a teacher in the cosmic realms, and in having a lot of faith that destiny is gonna take care of us and that everything is gonna really be okay. Jupiter's role here really offers like a big buffer of faith during a more vulnerable process. We need to trust our connections and our family and our supportive communities. And those who leave us doubting ourselves and who are stealing our light, they need to go. They are energetic parasites. They also belong to Pisces. They act all kinds in our faces, but whenever they have the chance, they put a knife in our backs. And these people really need to, be thrown out the door. Just like put them on the South Node, bye. So Jupiter here, it is also like, it's like a lighthouse casting a beam across some stormy waters. And although the fog can be a bit more thick here with Pisces, we have orientation with Jupiter. There is hope, there is a direction. And the trine here really reminds us that eclipses can feel chaotic, but there's always a greater story unfolding, and we are never lost in it. We are just a little bit blind to the currents, but and when a wave washes over you, just see it as a blessing. Jupiter is really protective, and it is actually a guiding hand. And it suggests here that any crisis comes with an awakening or some kind of gift. So, yeah, the collective meaning, Pisces can be about suffering and about exposure of deception, but we need to have greater empathy and imagination, and we need to spiritually merge with one another, and not be too pissed off with one another. And the collective, we're also going to see a very big heightened interest in all topics like mysticism and spiritual philosophies, because a lot of people are going to seek a lot of meaning in all the chaos that is about to unfold with the Virgo eclipse within 2 weeks. So yeah, we're going to see a very big collective spiritual wave that is going to arise, and we're going to see some new movements with that as well. So another important thing is Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. And whoa, you guys have been commenting a lot here today. Thank you so much. I even don't have the time to read all of them. And Lakeside Laura says, I just had a conversation with my husband about getting rid of old loops. So yeah, definitely confirmation for sure. And thank you so much for your sweet words, Laura. That is so sweet. Sparkle and Great, you guys are gonna make me blush. I'm already like turning red. That is so funny. You guys are so sweet. Using voice to text, and this retired teacher can't handle it when it doesn't get right. I totally understand it, but Sparkle and Grit, this is a threat from Virgo. You need to get it. Yeah, it's okay. Not everything needs to be perfect. And yeah, messy action is still action and still dedication and still going forward. Like, not everything needs to be perfect. I'm actually glad with the South Node in Virgo that we can all put the focus on releasing that. So what else? So we, of course, have a lot of planets retrograde. We have Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus a day before the eclipse also stationing retrograde. So yeah, that really like casts some kind of backward gaze on the entire eclipse season. It is about revisiting the unfinished business of recent years, asking ourselves, what have we truly learned from the past 3 years with Saturn and Pisces? What have we learned about putting up some boundaries? And it's a big time of a big reckoning with our stories. So with all of these planets retrogrades, there can be a lot of nostalgia, some grief, some old frustration popping up again. And yeah, if old wounds resurface, it is not to punish punish us. It is about it is an invitation for a bigger understanding. And the challenge is actually to release not just the people or the events of the past that have been holding you back, but it's also about the resentments and the expectations that are still like lingering inside of us and are having an effect upon like today. So yeah, we need to like really contemplate about the art of forgiveness as a big liberation. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and like waiting for the other to fall ill. It doesn't work that way. So we need to free ourselves to become who we're actually meant to be. So yeah, we need to really like think about what wisdom is waiting in the ruins of the past, so we can like pick that up again and really go forward. So yeah, Saturn and Pisces, I'm gonna say it again, it looms in the background. It is preparing to oppose the Virgo solar eclipse within 2 weeks after this one, and it's gonna add a lot of karmic weight. The choices that we're gonna make now will soon demand a lot of accountability. It's not punishment, it is the natural law of cause and effect. So Saturn in Pisces is going to really examine the energetic contracts that we still hold. When it opposes the Virgo solar eclipse, it's about our service towards others, and if we have been giving ourselves away too much. It's about martyrdom and true responsibility as well. So yeah, Saturn, it is necessary. Compassion without structure is going to dissolve into a lot of chaos. And rules without compassion are actually calcifying into a lot of cruelty. And the task here is to weave the two together, shaping boundaries that honor both love and truth, but are keeping away the energetic parasites. So on a collective level, eclipses are also very notorious for shaking up leadership. We often see resignations, scandals, sudden shifts in power. And yesterday I've read an article about the Epstein files, that the victims are actually making, or maybe are gonna soon release a list of their own. I do really suspect that to come out, because next year we're going to shift over into eclipses into the sign of Leo and Aquarius, and Leo is about children as well, and a whole other thing that I'm going to talk about more later. And then the next Virgo solar eclipse within 2 weeks, within 6 months, or even a year after that, I do expect a lot of people to really end up in a court case or are getting convicted. Pisces and Virgo, it is about our health. It is about procedures from the past, with Saturn dipping back in Pisces. It is about very karmic retributions to people who have misused their power. Saturn is about the government as well. Sign of Pisces is deception, opposite Virgo. New moon, solar eclipse in Virgo is about our health, our daily routine, the systems that they have been put us in. Yeah, it's also about like the curfew, like brace yourself, guys, because a lot of things are gonna really come out right now. So with this one, I also expect a lot of change in Ukraine and Russia. This is really like hinting at either someone stepping down or being forced aside, a major turning point in the whole war narrative as well. Yeah, and world leaders who have resisted accountability are going to face unexpected downfalls, especially those who are involved in corruption and lack of compassion, or in manipulation of collective narratives. So brace yourselves, guys. Then, of course, another side to the whole story is the natural disasters or the humanitarian events involving water, floods, storms, refugee crises across seas as well. So yeah, immigration is going to come up very, very big. I do expect that there's going to be a blowout or a blow up in the UK, as the UK is in the zone of the eclipse. It did come up again in another way, but I do think that immigration within the UK is going to be causing massive difficulties in the next weeks ahead. Of course, also for America, but because the full moon lunar eclipse is really, yeah, the UK is in a direct line of fire. So on a more broader worldview, it's about karmic weight, Saturn and Pisces. It is really suggesting that the consequences about climate neglect, about mass displacement, about lack of compassion will become very, very visible. Major flooding, there can be water contamination, there can be an ocean-related environmental disaster, really drawn up global attention towards that, and can be about large-scale humanitarian displacement and suffering and all of that, frustration, grief, the sense of being powerless in the face of war or poverty or inequality and climate disasters and all of these things. Yeah, the universe and Mother Earth and Gaia is really like, yeah, putting reality up in our face, so we can no longer ignore it. Something needs to be changed in that. And I'm not talking about the whole CO2. We know CO2 is very important for the trees so they can breathe. I'm talking about all the, yeah, all the waste and all the plastic and all of the other things, of course. So, and of course, because this eclipse is with Mercury and Jupiter, exposure of hidden communications can come forth, and also past information that has been kept hidden is going to resurface as well. So yeah, a lot of matters from the past are going to come up, revelations around our health and deception in that as well. Government scandals are going to be revealed. Saturn represents the government, can also be about corporate or tech spheres as well, because Pisces is about illusion, secrecy, cover-ups, and Virgo is about facts and accountability as well. And these two are fully activated right now. So hidden truths or things that have been or we have been in denial about are going to surface dramatically. So if you then look, I know that was maybe a bit intense, and I also want to like put like I want to maybe add something to that, because I know what I'm saying sounds a bit intense, but I think it's about time that some things got exposed. And however, I need to be very careful with what I say on here on YouTube, otherwise the algorithm is going to suppress my video. But I also want to like add a positive note, because Virgo is about doctors. Like, Virgo is physical health, Pisces is mental health, and we need to rebalance that out. And I think also that our normal doctors, our physical doctors, are going to need to like walk hand in hand with psychotherapists, with psychiatric, like all these things. We need to like weave them into one. All too little we look at the mental state and what the mental state, which effect it has on the physical state. And I think we can see some very positive developments in that, because I do, however, think a lot of people are going to turn a little bit crazy. Pisces, it's also about jails and about mental asylums and people going nuts, lunatics, all these things, freaks. It's all Pisces as well. It's one of the more negative traits. And yeah, something is going to change definitely in that. We're not going to have any other choice anymore right now, I think. So if you feel people are getting a little bit lost, just go inward, meditate. Yeah, don't go into the negative loop with them. Don't try to get them out as well, because you're gonna get stuck into the mess. Retreat, pray for them, meditate on that, make sure you are balanced, because otherwise you're gonna spiral down real quick with them as well. So and Linda York, hi Linda. Linda says, psychotherapy is my work, big changes ahead, I feel it. Yes, you guys are so underrated, and like I want to just like thank every doctor, every nurse, every therapist, everyone who has some kind of healing ability, whether that's in classic healing practices or in alternative. I feel those two are going to be woven more together, but I want to like thank each and every one of you, because I could not, if I need to be with like drove into the if I were to be a doctor and like being in the stress every day of having to heal everyone with like or like surgery or like it's just like it takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of balance inside, it takes a lot of grounding, and I want to thank each and every doctor and every nurse for really like having such a dedication in trying to heal and help everyone, because I think they don't get enough support and gratitude. So thank you guys so much. And Barno, thank you so much. Damn it, I want to help everyone. Yeah, I'm totally feeling you. I have 4 planets in Pisces. I will always help everyone else before myself, and that is what got me really ill with Lyme disease back in the day, and even still up until this day, I'm learning like, first put on your own oxygen mask before you can like help someone else with their oxygen mask. So something else, the rituals. I'm gonna be very honest, guys. This is an eclipse. I tend to not really put a lot of emphasis on rituals or, yeah, I would suggest to really focus on writing down whatever you're ready to release. Don't try to call in a lot of things. Don't try to manifest a lot because I think it can get pretty chaotic. So work with water and just meditate near water, take a lot of salt baths. I've been doing that so much lately, salt baths. It tends to help me a lot, and surrender control and flow with inspiration. And the crystals, do not charge them. Like, I'm gonna say it again, do not charge them under the moonlight. Do not put them in a bowl of water. Do not put them out under the moonlight, because then you're gonna really draw in all the chaotic eclipse energy into your crystals. We do want to avoid that. So however, you can do a cleansing, but you can do it with smoke, with sound, with water, but not with any moonlight. Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you. But yeah, be careful with your crystals. Like, it's so funny when we look at back at historic cycles, because our free will is less during eclipses. A lot of people back in the day, they didn't go out. They like closed their curtains. They did not look at the moon or the sun or anything like that, because they knew if they were to enter or like leave their house, then the eclipse energy can mess up with their mess a lot of things up within their day. And I'm not like trying to scare you, but if it feels a little bit chaotic, just like breathe, calm down. It's just like the chaotic eclipse energy. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna start the readings for the 12 signs. And if you don't know your rising sign, you can go to astroseek.com or Astrodienst, plug in your birth details, and then you will get to know your rising sign. This is the first big black line, and then you know which sign you need to listen to, because this is a lunar eclipse. And if you have your moon in Pisces, I would strongly suggest listening at your moon sign as well. Or if you have like a moon sign and one of the mutable signs, then it would be very interesting to listen to all three of them this time. So, my dear fellow Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you're gonna have the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. Then it's gonna happen, of course, in your 12th house, the most hidden, mysterious part of your chart. The 12th really rules over the subconscious, about our dreams. It's about solitudes and also, retreat. So if you want to like unwind, book a spiritual retreat, you can get a lot of insights, downloads during this day, and during this time period. And yeah, the eclipse is really gonna highlight a lot of hidden emotions. So there can be a lot of emotional releases from the past that can surface in a lot of powerful ways. That can happen in your dreams, can also happen while you're alone, or even when you least expect it. You might also, feel very drawn through healing centers, retreats. Be careful of the hospital. The hospital is also found in the 12th house, and also jail. So, my dear Aries, don't blow up. Don't go drinking and driving and end up in jail or the hospital. The energy is really heightened. So, knock on some wood. I do not want to manifest it, but it would be wiser to go to some kind of quiet or sacred space instead of a hospital or a jail. So maybe you need to go to church or a spiritual centrum, whatever you believe or feel like. But even just like spending more time in your bedroom, which is also ruled by the 12th house, by resting and resetting, can be very, very beneficial. And this is actually your cocoon phase. You need to step back and prepare for like a major new beginning within 2 weeks, when we have the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo in your 6th house, which is going to be in your daily routine, in your work, and in your productivity as well. But for now, just rest, retreat, clear out the basement of the subconscious mind. Look at old fears, to self-doubts, and also very important to look at self-sabotaging behavior. Patterns that actually have been quietly influencing you are also going to rise to the surface. It's not about control, it is about release. Pay extra attention to your dreams, to synchronicities, to repeating signs, and that is going to deliver some emotional breakthroughs. All these things are really going to guide you towards all the things that needs to be dissolved. Silence can be very, very fertile. What feels like emptiness or withdrawal can actually be a sacred preparation for a big rebirth. Saturn and Neptune are also dipping back into Pisces. You're really revisiting old lessons, clearing a lot of karma, and tying up loose ends from 30 years back in time before all these planets are going to move in your first house with the spring for the northern hemisphere of next year, and that is like totally going to reshape your identity in the years to come. Now the beautiful part is that this eclipse makes a trine to Jupiter in your fourth house. The fourth is, of course, about home and family and roots and your ancestral lineage, especially tied to Pisces. Healing, it is not just internal. It can be supported by your home environment, and if you don't get support by your family, maybe it's time to look at where you need to cut through some ancestral curses. So the fourth is definitely also about ancestral wisdom. So you might also feel very drawn to connect to your lineage, to clear up your family bloodline, to also rearrange your home where you can experience more peace, experience more emotional healing, maybe through family ties. Jupiter here is acting as a protective guardian, and it's also giving you some lessons in releasing what no longer serves you within the home. So trust the process. You're clearing space, not just in the mind, not just in the subconscious mind, but also within your heart and your home. So when you trust the unseen, you discover that your Aries spirit has always been unbreakable. So good luck, my dear Aries. Then we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Do we have some Tauruses in the chat? I see Lina York. She has an Aries daughter waiting. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to switch back to Aries. For Aries daughter waiting on an offer for jail or a jail officer. Oh my God, that is like so amazing, Linda York. Yeah, that's like, she might definitely get it. Like, let me know if she get it, because the energy is so spot on for the situation. That is so interesting. Like, Pisces can be an employment for the collective, and that is also going to come up. And I forgot to mention that for the collective reading. But if you look for a job within the confined spaces of the 12th, then that can be a very, very beautiful solution. So good luck, Aries. Then we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Do we have a Taurus in the chat? Because you guys are going to have a lunar eclipse in Pisces that is going to fall in your 11th house of friendships, communities, your goals and aspirations as well, your social network. So powerful moment of culmination and actually also a reorientation in your social world. Some of you are gonna be more sensitive towards friends. Maybe some new important friend can really enter the room. But others, if this one squares you in your natal chart, then a friend might be very deceptive, and the truth is going to get to light right now. So look at your own natal chart for the eclipses. It differs a lot depending on the aspects that it makes. But however, some connections may naturally fall away, while others, especially those who are rooted in forgiveness and spirituality and shared values, are all going to grow a lot stronger. With the destiny of the North Node, you might feel called to join some new cause, step maybe into a new circle, or maybe you're just going to realize how much your quiet contributions have been noticed and been appreciated. And sometimes it takes a moment like this to really see that you're actually more valued in your community than you realize. So the eclipse really, it shines a light on the tension between your authentic self-expression in the fifth and the expectations of the groups. So are you breaking free, or are you being able to be free to be yourself within groups, or are you bending a little bit to fit in? Are you maybe deceiving your friends and showing you a side which is not truly your own? Maybe that needs to shift, and then friendships can flow more easily as well. But yeah, the truth is going to be revealed by the eclipse, and it is that your uniqueness is actually what makes you very valuable. So you shine brightest when you hold your own star, while you're like still belonging in the greater big whole oneness and social connection within the collective right now. So yeah, there can, however, be illusions about friendships, and some networks are going to get dissolved, and it's going to really reveal who is truly aligned with your future and who isn't. So yeah, big turning point in your goals and dreams. Some dreams in regards to friendships might be dissolved, so that you can actually commit more fully to those that truly inspire you, and who are truly you, and who are truly divine, genuine connections. So yeah, if someone falls away, you're it's going to be replaced by someone way more spiritually aligned with you. So don't you worry. And the beautiful gift here, it's trine by Jupiter in your third house. Third is about communication and siblings and local networks. And the supportive flow here, it really suggests that the right people and opportunities, they will come through just going out in your local environment. It will be by conversating. It can be coming forth by your brother or sisters. Your siblings are found in the third as well. Short trips, your immediate community. So yeah, would be wise to take maybe a travel or short distance road trip with a friend. Very powerful to launch a website, because the 11th is about the collective and being online, and the third is about communicating. And so website, podcasting, all these things are very, very beautiful for you guys as well. Or simply join a spiritual group that really, really feeds your soul. Jupiter is expanding your voice, it is expanding your connections within your immediate environment, and it's really going to help you to actually speak your truth and find real allies who share it. So yeah, it's a cosmic invitation to really weave your dreams into the fabric of your community. And you do not do that by dimming yourself down. You do that by showing up fully as you are. So the right community, it doesn't just accept you, it amplifies your light. So good luck, my dear Taurus. And thank you so much, Arno. Asset is such a natural human, a type of astrologer we really need these times. A human intended algorithm would pump it up all day. Oh, that is so sweet, Arno. You say the weirdest and sweetest and coolest things at the same time. Like I would never think about that. So thank you so much, Arno. That is so, so cool. Amen. Yes, indeed. Amen. And Lakeside Laura says, my Pisces Sun daughter has a Taurus moon. Oh, that is such a beautiful combination. Oh my God, like she feels so much. And then her moon is all about stability and beauty and having good food and like really, yeah, enjoying the finer things in life in a spiritual way. So yeah, this will be important for her, Laura. Oh my God, I'm like excited for your daughter. And then the next one is Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Gemini? So you are a mutable sign, you receive a square. So yeah, and the lunar eclipse in Pisces, it is hitting your 10th house of career, reputation, legacy, a very visible place for you. It is actually, yeah, one of the most visible eclipses that you are ever going to experience. You've had this one 18 years ago. So go back and think what happened back then. So it actually puts you right in the spotlight. The 10th house is where you're seen by the world. It can bring major career culminations. It can bring a lot of public recognition. There can even be a shift in status. So some Geminis can be a promotion, a pivot in career, maybe stepping into a role of greater authority. And for others, it might be looking more like wrapping up a big chapter. You can be closing out a project, you can be retiring as well. You can finally be moving on from something that no longer feels aligned within your career area. So yeah, it's not just about this worldly success and status. It is about alignment in your higher purpose within your career. So yeah, look to what you've been building since March, and if something shifted within that. Do your ambitions still reflect your soul, your values, your true path? This is really where your legacy comes into play. So what do you want to be remembered for? And also, what kind of imprint do you want to leave on the world? So the lighthouse is definitely cutting through the fog here for you guys. It's about your reputation, your service, and the heart that you really put into your work, and knowing that that matters more than any kind of title. And the beautiful thing is that the ruler of the eclipse trines Jupiter, and Jupiter is in your second house of money. So yeah, it's also self-worth, values, and all of that, but particularly money. So very, very action-oriented within the career sphere here for you guys, because that is a beautiful trine of support. It really means that your financial stability can be growing as long as you put in a lot of effort and look at the skills that you've developed, and also look at the emotional labor that you've invested or within your reputation. It really are all becoming a lot of resources right now for you. So yeah, you're building not only something about that is about success, but it's also about security, and craft a career that feels prosperous, both spiritually but also materially. So balance these out. So yeah, Gemini, just trust that the world sees you now, and also recognition is gonna come not just from what you do, but actually for the heart that you bring into it. And legacy, it isn't just about success. It is about love, compassion, and the brilliance that you leave behind as your mark on the world. So good luck, my dear Gemini. Then we have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right, Cancers, like, let me know, how are you guys doing? This one's a big for you because, of course, you're ruled by the moon. We have a lunar eclipse in Pisces. So yeah, because you're ruled by the moon, full moon, lunar eclipses, they are full moons on steroids. You Cancers can really like feel the impact of that. So the lunar eclipse is falling in your ninth house of wisdom, travel, philosophy, higher learning, your belief system as well. And Jupiter, the ruler of the eclipse, is sitting right in your sign, in your first house of Cancer. Jupiter is exalted. That is so big. That is so cool. It is like the cosmos is shining a very big spotlight on you right now. And it's reminding you that growth and expansion and faith, they all start from cultivating that inner sense of knowing within, and within your belief system. The ninth house is about your view, your outlook, your broader, bigger worldview as well, and something is going to shift in that. So the ninth, it is about expanding horizons. So this could literally mean traveling somewhere, booking a trip, going abroad, meeting people from faraway places as well. For others, it can be about education. It can be about going back to school, getting certified, publishing, even teaching. And you might actually find that an old framework or maybe an old philosophy no longer fits you. And this eclipse is like the moment that you get your certification from the universe and you can shift something of that. It is actually a spiritual initiation. The world is opening up, your soul is asking for more, and with the trine from Jupiter and this eclipse to your first house, the lesson here is very deeply personal. You're stepping into a bigger, more confident version of yourself. So, and also because it's conjunct to North Node. The eclipse is going to bring some very inflated encounters. So yeah, don't be surprised if you meet a new teacher, a new mentor, a new guide, someone who can publish your books or your vision or your mindset. Yeah, you might even find yourself in the role of being a guide for someone else. Yeah, you're gonna meet significant people if you go traveling right now. Can also be at ceremonies, spiritual retreats, cultural events as well. But it is about releasing limiting beliefs, the essential part of this one. So look at the ideas that kept you boxed in, release them so you can rise above that, and know that faith is really your compass right now. Not blind faith, of course, not being in denial, but it's about having trust in the unfolding path before you. The horizon is wider than you think, and your story is still being written. So yeah, your invitation is to spread your wings and fly, trust the journey, embrace the unknown, and also let your faith carry you higher than you've ever been or seen before. So good luck, my dear Cancer. We have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, my dear Leos? How's it going? You're gonna have a Pisces Lunar Eclipse, and it's gonna light up your 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, your debts, your mortgage, your alimony, your contracts. Can also be about taxes. It's actually about money that you share or that you don't have to work for yourself. So some of you can have a tax return or something positive happen as well. But for most, what I've mostly seen in my clients, that is that there can be some issues about child support, about your mortgage, about tax refunds that are not coming through, and maybe you need to change some things in that, or really like maybe put in more effort to really get what belongs to you. So yeah, the 8th is actually deep water territory. It rules all the things that we share with others, both financially, emotionally, but also sexually. So there are going to be some revelations about trust, about your power, about your dependency on other people. Can be about energetic dependency as well, because it's in the sign of Pisces, of course. Can be about a contract, about joint finances, but also an inheritance. And it's also going to maybe, cut open some old wounds about intimacy and vulnerability as well. So, where have you given too much of yourself away? And where is it time to reclaim your power? You can also be paying off a debt. You can also renegotiate some financial agreements, or actually do receive what's owed to you. But for others, it can be a bit more emotional. It can be about old baggage or past betrayals, not necessarily in a romantic way, but can be in any way where you felt controlled, disempowered, or overlooked. The good news is that this eclipse, it's not just about loss, it is about liberation, and it's actually going to help you to release toxic cords, step away from unhealthy attachments, restore your sovereignty. And Jupiter, the ruler of this eclipse, it is in your 12th house. So there's a very, very deep spiritual layer here. Think about therapy and shadow work, meditation, soul retrieval work, hypnosis, anything that actually helps you to process in a calm, quiet way, and to reclaim your inner peace. So the 8th house also reminds us that true power, it isn't about controlling others, it is about sovereignty, about over yourself. So yeah, this is really the area of the phoenix that is rising from the ashes. You're actually burning away what no longer serves you, so that you can really rise freer and stronger. So yes, the 12th and the 8th, they can bring some toxic endings for sure, but they're always gateways into, they're gateways directly into a big rebirth. And Jupiter is really protecting you from behind the scenes, and really trust that what falls away now is really clearing space for real trust and deeper intimacy and a greater peace of mind as well. So yeah, Leo, this eclipse, it is actually your chance to reclaim your power, to let go of the cords that weigh you down, step fully into the light of your own resilience, and also know, my dear Leos, that no one or nothing can dim the fire and the spark that's always been yours. So good luck, my dear Leo. And of course, Laura is Leo rising, and Sparkle and Grit as well. Yeah, a lot of Leos here. That is like so cool. Yeah, very very nice. And yeah, for Sparkle and Grit, of course, if you're a Leo rising and you have your sun sign in Scorpio, double emphasis, double Scorpio depth for you. So yeah, that will be a very very strong and intense one for you. So good luck. Then we have Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let me know how you guys are doing, Virgo. Like, I'm so happy as Virgo Rising that Mars has finally left the sign of Virgo. Like, oh my God, that was a lot to handle. But for you guys, the Pisces Lunar Eclipse is going to light up your 7th house of marriage, relationships, partnerships, business, romantic, also very close one-on-one connections. This is, of course, your opposite sign, guys. Yeah. If you have your birthday around these days, then yeah, you're going to have it directly being, yeah, it's going to affect your solar return chart directly. So it's going to be a huge turning point for you for the next years ahead. So the 7th is also about who you walk with through this thing we call life. Romantic partners, collaborators, close friendships. So yeah, what's being highlighted here is actually what's changing, what's dissolving, and what's actually ready to take the next step of commitment as well. But yeah, I'm not going to make it prettier than it is. Lunar eclipses in the 7th can bring endings within marriage, within partnerships. So if a relationship has already been strained, then this might actually be the point where truth is going to surface and things become like undeniable. Like, it's going to be so obvious and so up in front in your face, especially with Saturn back in the sign of Pisces as well, that you can no longer deny it. But yeah, it's not just about closure, it's also about clarity. And on the positive side, faded connections might really be entering your life. It can be about new relationships, engagements, and if you are spiritually aligned and if you have not been deceiving one another, then yeah, it may all come full circle and the commitments can actually deepen. Or it can also be about contracts in the 7th. But however, as I already mentioned, it does depend on which aspects this lunar eclipse is making in your own chart. So if it's positive, if it makes squares, it can be a little bit harder. So the 7th is not only about romance, it's also about clients, about your therapist, someone who helps you, a mentor. So yeah, that could also come forward for you guys, and it could also literally bring in the right person to like guide or support you. So that's very beautiful, and it's going to be like a divine blessing if that happens. Another blessing here is that Jupiter is ruling the eclipse, and it does that from the 11th house of friendships and allies. So that means that even though if something falls away or something stops or maybe a breakup, it still means that you're supported. You're going to be supported by your friends. You're supported by the universe. Maybe you're going to receive some advice from a close friend. Maybe a friend introduces you to someone new. There can also be a lot of help from your community. They're gonna make sure that you feel that you're not alone in navigating all these relationship shifts. So some of you are gonna meet someone special through a social circle, maybe a party or community event around this time. And just know that relationships are mirrors right now. They are gonna reflect both your strengths but also your blind spots. So do your connections help you grow or do they hold you back? by honoring your own needs, also by setting boundaries, by staying open to authentic reciprocity, then yeah, you're gonna align with the partnerships that are actually meant to walk this path alongside you. So yeah, Virgos, don't be afraid to release what no longer serves you, because every ending in a relationship really clears space for the exact partnerships of destiny that are actually waiting to meet you right now. So good luck, my dear Virgo. Oh my God, Laura, my son has a Virgo sun and a moon, and his birthday is September the 7th. Oh wow, that is like a lot. Like, how old is your son? And like, yeah, a lot of things are gonna shift within his family if he has a family of himself. Family and career are gonna see a major shift, Laura. So yeah, this is like really really important. It would be very wise and interesting to look at his solar return chart for this year. Yeah, that is like so cool. A big year of change, Laura. So good luck, my dear Virgo. Yeah, Laura, if he wants to meet someone so bad, then that can actually really, really happen during this time. So prepare yourself. Maybe you're gonna become a grandmother soon. I really, really wish you that and the best for your son. So, Libra, dear Libra, sun, moon, or rising. The Pisces lunar eclipse is gonna happen in your sixth house of work, health, daily routine, your service towards others, your productivity, your well being. Yeah, the universe really asks you to look closely at your habits, at your energy, and also how you're caring for yourself. The sixth house can feel very subtle, but it's actually powerful, and it can also actually be a little bit stressful. Your daily rhythms really create the foundation for everything else in your life. So whatever's coming up for you right now, it's going to put a highlight on imbalances between overworking and self-care, between flow of inspiration and perfectionism. So if you've been running yourself into the ground, then this eclipse is gonna really highlight where you feel exhausted, where the emotional strain comes from. And also, yeah, it's also about your physical health issues. Maybe if that pops up, you're really gonna need to slow down and rest. It can also show up as a shift in your work, maybe within your schedule, also within your health. Some Libras of you, you're gonna release old work habits. You might also be changing your office space. You might also be getting new responsibilities at work. Maybe some of you are gonna get a new colleague, and maybe that new colleague is gonna help you with the workload. That is also a possibility. Others are gonna really notice that health matters are gonna come up and force you to listen more deeply to the body. Yeah, sixth is not only about coworkers, it's also about your pets. It's also about the small details of your day-to-day life, and that's all going to be highlighted right now. The beautiful part here, of course, is that the ruler of this eclipse, which is you, Jupiter, and it is making a flowing trine towards your 10th house. So yeah, that is like when you honor your body and your routines and your daily services, you're gonna open up big doors in regards to career growth. Can also be in regards to recognition. New professional opportunities can really arise, and it's about also, yeah, your health and your work life are very tied together always, but especially right now. So when one thrives, the other one does that as well automatically. The sixth also reminds you that service must come from wholeness and not from depletion. Your body is like a vessel, and you can't pour into others if you are having been dealing with an empty cup yourself. So yeah, the eclipse is your wake-up call to really balance your effort with a lot of rests and balance discipline with compassion, and then say no to draining obligations that feel you that leave you feeling stressed out or burdened. And if you make shifts in your schedule, make sure that it supports your career goals, but also your soul. Mars is in your sign, squaring Jupiter as well. So there's really a temptation to push too hard, or maybe to lose a lot of energy. Really listen to your body. Self-care, it's not selfish, it is sacred. And only by nurturing yourself you can unlock the energy and clarity and the resilience that really is needed to succeed in the long run. So small daily choices that are going to shape your destiny right now. Tend to them with a lot of love, and build the life that you dream of. I know you're very capable of doing that. So good luck, my dear Libra. Hey, Stain. Yeah, a long replay. Yeah. I've been like going way over time, but I have been enjoying myself. I'm just like on the roll today, so enjoy, Stain. Then we have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So the Pisces Lunar Eclipse is such a good news for you guys, because look at this. It is lighting up your fifth house. Like, the fifth is one of my favorite houses. So yeah, very beautiful. The fifth rules over creativity, joy, laughter, romance, children. This is the house of the heart. So yeah, the eclipse is really asking you to strip away all the old inhibitions, or like all the old social expectations that have kept you from actually fully expressing yourself. It is about reconnecting with your inner child. It is about rediscovering the part of you that really loves to create and to play without fear of judgment. So yeah, if you encounter a difficult or interesting situation right now, just look within and ask yourself, how would my inner child react to this? Or what would my little version of myself back in the day, how would it be responding right now? And yeah, realize that also joy, it is not a luxury. It is actually a spiritual necessity. And then the eclipse here is really gonna remind you of the truth within that. So yeah, this can also bring a big breakthrough in a creative project. Can also be a milestone within a romantic relationship. If you're single and ready to mingle, then be ready to have some fun, but take precautions, because if you're gonna mingle a little bit too much, then you can end up having a baby with an eclipse in the fifth. So whoever, if you want to get pregnant, congratulations, this might be your time that you find out that you're pregnant. So yeah, there can be a lot of developments with children. If you already have children, there can be changes within their lives. There can be also you can actually be taking on a new role, a new, more spiritually more spiritual role in how you nurture young children, your own children, if you work with children. That is very, very positive and beautiful. Some of you are gonna really feel pulled towards a new hobby. Maybe you discover a new spiritual passion. You can also be creative or artistic projects that you have been neglecting, where you're now ready to return with a whole new inspiration. And Jupiter is ruling this eclipse from your ninth house. So your joy and also your self-expression are actually interlinked with a lot of expansion, and that can happen through travel, through education, through publishing, through philosophy, and gaining new insights in that. So you might actually literally learn something new that really ignites your creativity. It could also share your gifts with a broader audience. It might be rippling, whatever you publish now might be rippling far beyond your immediate circle. And the fifth, really, it reminds us that authenticity is the true liberation and the true spirituality. So it is the canvas of your life is waiting for you to color it in with all of your dark purple colors. But maybe add some little yellow, add some maybe brighter colors within your canvas right now. that can like be really beneficial. So of course the eclipse is trining all the water signs. So yeah, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the cosmos is really handing you a platter of inspiration, of love and emotional flow as well, and happiness with, as a Scorpio, this happening in the fifth. So trust by embracing what excites your soul. If that's romantic, artistic, or playful, you will not only heal yourself, but you will inspire others to do the same. So dare to love louder, dare to create bolder, and also live with like the fearless joy of your inner child, because your light, it is not meant to be hidden. So good luck, my dear Scorpio. Hey, share this be. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Then we have Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Sag? You are one of the beautiful signs. So yeah, you receive a square from this one, but the eclipse in Pisces is going to activate your fourth house of home, family, ancestral lineage, your roots, your emotional foundations. So yeah, a very deeply personal eclipse for you, and it's actually pulling your attention to where you come from and to what truly grounds you. So look back at your roots. Can also be like a culmination in matters of family. It can be a transition of the home. There can also be emotional closure around what happened in the past in regards to family. Yeah, if you're being asked to really tend to the soil of your inner garden, decide which ancestral pattern or which childhood pattern is worth keeping, and also decide which one must be composted so that new life can really grow. And that is not always easy. I'm just like smiling a little bit because I'm like totally understanding your guys' vibe. So yeah, it could actually manifest as a literal move. It could also be about renovating, maybe a shift in the structure of the family. Can also be about inheritance. Can be about emotional releases that are homed, that belong to home and family and your lineage, and might also welcome someone new into the family. Maybe your brother has a new boyfriend, or maybe your grandmother who was alone has someone new. That's like something happens and changes within the family. Or maybe someone passes away within the family because Jupiter, your chart ruler, is trining this eclipse in the eighth house. Eighth house is about joint finances and also about inheritance. So yeah, it's also about property matters, can be about negotiations and even mortgages and contracts revolving around all of that that might surface. The changes are not random, they're actually deeply karmic and ultimately healing in the end. That really also suggests that, yeah, even some endings or goodbyes come with a lot of emotional resolution, and it is also about trust with Jupiter in the eighth, and sometimes can also be about financial blessings here for you, my dear Sag. So yeah, look at your shared resources, look at your joint finances. They are all going to play a major role in what is about to unfold next. And the fourth also reminds you that true security is built within. Yeah, you're being given the chance to redefine home, both physical but also in your like both in your physical home, but also about your inner sanctuary. Jupiter in the eighth can also be about working with a therapist in which you are resolve a lot of unhealed emotions from the past, and you can feel like a final ending, and that can be a very, very beautiful new story that unfolds. So closures, however, can feel heavy, but they carry a lot of medicine. The healing of old family wounds, the release of stagnant energy, there's creation and space for a new chapter of belonging here within the spiritual and mystical realms. Like you won't have a lot of control over what happens within the family in the next few months. So with Jupiter, just trust he is guiding the process. Trust that you're like being expanded into deeper intimacy and emotional strength as well. And sometimes home is not where you've been, but maybe home is the new ground that you dare to root into, and also trust that these endings are actually planting you in the soil where your future will fully flourish as well. So good luck, my dear Sag. And yeah, Lakeside Laura, yes, great growth for Sagittarius. Like I really like love this one for you guys. And I also think for my dear Sagittarius that something within the home will make sure that something shifts, and some kind of release will happen into the 10th house in the career area as well. But that's like for the solar eclipse in Virgo next. But yeah, on all fronts, like for you, my dear Sag, the only part that's missing is you. We have planets in Pisces. We have, of course, Uranus in Gemini. We have the Sun and Mercury and the South Node in Virgo, and it all directly points to you. You're the only thing that's missing. So your sun, moon, or rising is going to connect all the dots, and with everything that's going to shift, you're going to have like a new identity coming forth from that as well over the next 6 months. So within 6 months, someone can look at you completely different, because maybe you've moved, maybe something changed in your job, and maybe you're breaking free from a certain partner. That can happen as well with Uranus going back and forth over the descendant. So good luck, my dear Sag. Earth, my home is transforming. Wow, that is another deep comment, Bardo, which is like very, very beautiful. The Earth is definitely shifting and transforming. Oh, wow. And Lakeside Laura says, my hubs, as such, we are thinking of moving out of state. That is, yeah, because Pisces is like your husband. He feels probably at home everywhere as long as he's with the right people, as long as he's with you. Pisces can also be far away places, so definitely very applicable. Like Lakeside Laura, you are so aligned with what's happening within your family. That is like very, very cool. And of course, Arno, yes, you're a Sag Sun. That's why you share all these deep magical wisdom with all of us, and I'm very grateful that you do that. So thank you, my dear Sagittarius. Good luck and enjoy Jupiter in the 8th. Like, look at some investments. Yeah, that can like definitely help, and take profit off of your investments if that happens for you now. So good luck. We have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Capricorn? The Pisces Lunar Eclipse is going to activate your 3rd house of communication, speaking, learning, siblings, also your immediate environment. So whenever you go for groceries, or maybe when you want to like fill up the gas in your tank, something abruptly or something, yeah, something different than you're used to can happen during those times. So yeah, enjoy going for groceries, because yeah, that in itself can become a real adventure, a spiritual adventure here with the sign of Pisces. So yeah, the eclipse for you, it is about decluttering the mental space. Yeah, shift outdated thought patterns, release old self-talk. You can also open up to more compassionate, intuitive ways of connecting with others. Excuse me, it's also a call to notice how your mindset really shapes your daily reality. And you guys have a very powerful mind. We know that Pisces is spiritual, and whatever you think becomes reality. Whatever you think you attract. You guys are like magicians in that. I don't know if you know that, but your mental capabilities, they are very, very strong, and they are immensely highlighted right now. So take good use of that, because Pisces can feel lonely. You can feel like, oh my God, there's no one who thinks like me. Your mind can feel a little bit lost as well during this time. Just know whatever you think you attract. So yeah, it's like Napoleon Hill, think big and grow rich, or something like that. That is like really, really applicable for you guys. The law of attraction, and really, yeah, manifesting your thoughts. You guys are like, yeah, really, really good at that. So yeah, try to focus on the more positive things. Even though there is an eclipse, your mind can feel a little bit eclipsed. Be open to more intuitive ways of connecting with others. Yeah, it's really a moment to step into greater authenticity in a spiritual way as well, and speaking your truth with clarity and a lot of empathy as well. So this is going to manifest as a lot of important conversations, spiritual conversations. There can be changes with siblings or with neighbors as well. There can be changes within signed contracts, within short distance travel. And if you have been writing, teaching, or if you are part of some kind of media, if you've been blogging or writing or podcasting, you can see a very big breakthrough in that as well. And this is like divine timing for you guys. So if you want to publish a project, start a new course, if you want to study something, that is going to provide breakthroughs. And also maybe put an emphasis or like rethink on how you want to share your ideas with the world, because the beautiful part of this eclipse is that it's trined by Jupiter, and Jupiter is within your 7th house. So the link between communication and partnership or marriage or business partnership, that is really the key here. Yeah, exchanged words with other people right now might really change the entire course of a relationship. It can also be a very big invite to new ones coming in that are going to help you with your breakthrough within your communication project. So a very fertile time for collaborative projects, very auspicious for building bridges and relationships as well. And you can also be resolving old misunderstandings by focusing more on spiritual dialogue. The third also teaches us that words are actually seeds and they ripple outward, and they shape your relationships, they shape your opportunities, and also your future path. And not only your words, but also your thoughts. Your thoughts are also part of the 3rd house. So whether that is going to happen through writing, speaking, or maybe simple acts of presence within your local environment, just know that your voice carries a lot of weight. And it's connected to the spiritual realms. So if you feel like you need to say something, even without a clear reason why, just say it. Let it flow out, and align your words with empathy, with truth, and you're gonna find that partnerships and opportunities are really gonna do their best to meet you. So your words are spells. Speak with truth and compassion, and watch how your world is gonna transform around you. And just I wish you the best of luck, my dear Capricorns. Then we have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, Aquarius? The Pisces Lunar Eclipse is going to activate your 2nd house of money, resources, self-worth, your values. And it's really a culmination around your relationship to stability. Both financial and emotional now with the full moon lunar eclipse. So there can be old patterns of scarcity coming up. Maybe you need to look at some outdated definitions of success. The second is also it's always about expenses. So scarcity mindsets needs to be released, but you can receive a test in regards to that. There can be an unexpected bill coming up, and it can be a wake-up call about how you value yourself, your skills, your resilience. It's also about your inner resources. This is actually more important maybe than what's in your bank account, and you're going to be reminded about that. The eclipse is going to remind you that your true self-worth really begins within, and it's not like, no matter how many zeros there are on your bank account, like, and with zero I mean like a 1, and then how many zeros, I do not mean like no money. So no matter how many zeros there are in your bank account, it's not going to shift your self-worth. That is something completely else. And when you fix your self-worth, then there will you will see that getting reflected within the amount of money, and it will grow. But it's not about Having more money means that having more self-worth. No, it's like vice versa. It's like the other way around. So yeah, you're going to be confronted with some financial shifts, maybe some new streams of income. Maybe you're going to notice some changes within your habits of spending as well. Maybe some of you are going to need to budget a little bit differently. Maybe you need to invest more in yourself. Maybe you need to, yeah, claim your independence. Maybe you can take on multiple jobs by freelancing. Maybe some of you are going to like renegotiate your pay or your raise, and yeah, with Jupiter, which is the ruler of this eclipse, and it's trining this eclipse from the 6th house. So the link between your daily environment and your daily work and habits and your resources within a second, the link is very strong here. So it really suggests that, yeah, there can be a lot of growth through healthier routines, maybe new jobs or new projects. There can also be growth by spending more money on your health and your well-being. Maybe some of you are going to need to spend some more money on their pets. Maybe your dog or your cat needs a little bit more help, or some new food, for example. The 2nd house is also about food, and the 6th house is about daily routine. So the food that you're putting into your mouth, does that contribute, and is that a healthy daily routine, and does that contribute to your health and well-being? Something can be awakened, or some awareness can be brought into that as well with the eclipse. So yeah, the 2nd house teaches that true wealth is alignment between what you value and how you live as well. So it's gonna act like a mirror. Money often reflects our self-esteem and the beliefs that we carry about abundance. And I know this is like a very spiritual line, and not all people really have control over that. But if you're healthy and if you're able to go to work, then this line really applies to you. But I'm not gonna say if you live in extreme poverty, or if you're sick, or that is something else. So I do not want to like generalize this sentence. It does, however, of course, depend on your unique personal situation. But by embracing your authentic values, you not only redefine your finances and your money, but you can also strengthen the foundation of your daily life. So when you claim your worth, then the world is going to rise to really meet it. And abundance begins the moment that you believe that you deserve it. So believe in yourself, believe in your self-worth. Put some money aside for whenever some expenses do come up unexpectedly. That can happen, but just know that this is about the test of faith within your own abilities to be on your own 2 feet. And yeah, whatever happens now is destiny, and you can really make it work. So good luck, my dear Aquarius. And Skylar, hi Skylar. Oh my God, hello Virgo, September 15th. Okay, the solar eclipse in Virgo for you is it's not gonna fully baked into your solar return chart, but still it's particularly it's very close. So yeah, that will be a very interesting year for you. Very wise and interesting to look at your solar return. So good luck. And yes, Stain, you are worthy for sure. So good luck, my dear Aqua. Then, last but not least, the star of the astrology world right now, we have my dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I actually should have started with you, right? This is like your eclipse. But of course, yeah, you are the star of the moment and of the eclipse season right now. So yeah, if you have any planets, my dear Pisces, between 13 and 18 degrees of Pisces, the energy will be hitting you directly. And it's going to mark a very, very big personal rebirth, and it can hand over a lot of revelations. Maybe some you are not going to be wishing to see. So eclipses in the 1st house are very, very powerful. They bring a confrontation with who you've been. It's a reflection on who you no longer are. And it's pointing you towards who you are becoming in the future. So it's about shedding outdated roles, masks, expectations of others that no longer fit you. It's about stepping into a more authentic identity that is shaped from within, shaped from your own beliefs, shaped from your own spirituality, and shaped from your own higher selves, and not from others. So you don't need others' approval. You Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising are very, very intuitive, and you know very well what's best for you, and you know very well what's not good for you. So yeah, if you feel like you encounter a very, very emotional thing that you need to deal with, then do not go in denial. Do not go into escapism, and just know that no drugs, no alcohol, no coping mechanism is gonna save you from the revelations that are about to brought forth from this eclipse. With Saturn back in your sign, it's not easy. I know. Full moon lunar eclipses, they are moons on steroids. They can be very emotional, but this can be such a beautiful new start because it trines Jupiter. So yeah, because it happens in the first, it can show up as changes to your body, your style, your clothes, maybe about the way how others perceive you. It can be about the role you play in the outside world, the first thing you do when you wake up. Yeah, new health routine, a new way of presenting yourself. And of course, yeah, relationships are gonna mirror this shift quite big. So this eclipse, it opposes the Sun, Mercury, and the South Node in your 7th house. So who are you outside of your partnerships? Just know that some dynamics might end under this influence. If it makes trines and other good aspects in your own natal charts, then your relationship can also deepen. Just know that they are all reflections of how you are actually learning, like how to honor yourself. And with Jupiter ruling this eclipse and it's trining this one from the 5th house, there is a very big flow of joy, creativity, inspiration, romance is highlighted. Children are also woven into this transformation. You can have a very big culmination or a release and a very important creative project. There can be new passions that are blooming immensely in the next 6 months. And some Pisces can discover that they're pregnant because the 5th is also about children and pregnancy. So Jupiter also promises authentic self-expression, that it's not only possible, but that it's actually getting blessed if you are able to tap in that right now. So make space for fun, for joy, for having a good time. Turn towards your passions because they are the fuel for your shift in identity. And the 1st house, it also reminds us that your identity, it is not a river, it is not a stone. You are in a flowing motion. You are forever evolving. So it is actually an invitation to really claim your selfhood with a lot of courage, while at the same time a lot of tenderness as well. So yeah, trust your intuition that is actually guiding. Yeah, it is the guiding current of your rebirth, and pay very close attention to your dreams, to your synchronicities, to like the subtle nudges from the universe. These are actually these act as your compass. So this is a soul initiation. It is the moment that the eclipse is actually offering you the permission to walk forward as a more radiant version of yourself. So yeah, this eclipse can be like a new dawn, like it's like yeah, stepping into the light of your own becoming, because yeah, the world is really waiting to meet the true version, the true spiritual version of you. And of course, with Saturn and Neptune retrograding back into your into your sign, into the 1st, you're not only being asked to redefine who you are, it is also about taking responsibilities for your identity, while at the same time dissolving illusions about who you thought you were or who you thought you had to be. It's a beautiful paradox. Saturn is gonna like really ground you, and it's gonna ask you for more structure and maturity. And at the same time, Neptune is gonna dissolve all its boundaries, really inviting you to step into the mystical and the intuitive and the infinite version of yourself. So, yeah, together they're actually, they're like carving out a new sense of self that is going to blend a lot of practical wisdom with spiritual vision at the same time. So, yeah, my dear Pisces, this is a very big karmic turning point, about your self-image, about your life direction, old cycles of self-doubt, or like living through other people's stories. They're all gonna close out, and they're all gonna be washed away, and it can feel a little overwhelming, not gonna lie. But yeah, use your natural Piscean gifts. Tap into your compassion, tap into your creativity, use your intuition, use your imagination. These are all being highlighted. So yeah, you can like really tap into that more fully right now. You can also look at this as like a very big soul contract renewal with the universe. Yeah, you cannot live half awake. You need to live with your whole heart fully present during this time. Otherwise, the Saturn back in your sign is going to catch up with you. But with the Jupiter trining into the fifth house, the universe is really affirming that joy, love, and being creative and inspiration, they are actually the essential parts and the essential things that you need for the new becoming of yourself. So yeah, if you're single, my dear Pisces, romance can feel very, very fated under this time. And yeah, play, love, and have fun. And this is not the end of who you were. It is actually the beginning of who you were always meant to be. So good luck, my dear Pisces. So yeah, that was it for today. I hope you all enjoyed that. If you gained any perspective, or if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also like it. Apparently, you can now also hype a video. Like, I had no clue, no idea, but my video ended on ended up the list of like the hype list at number 5, and I was like, what? So thank you guys for hyping my video. I didn't even know that was possible. And the funny part is that, like, I was telling my mom, like, I'm in the top 100 hype video list of YouTube. I'm like, did you know you could hype? And she's like, of course, I've been hyping all the time. And I had to laugh so much because my mother has been hyping me, and I didn't even know yeah, if that was possible. So yeah, that was a breakdown of the Pisces lunar eclipse, and yeah, what it meant for you and your rising sign. So yeah, eclipses, they are big turning points. They close doors so new ones can really open. So it's about trusting the process, surrendering to no longer services, and to really step into that more aligned future path. So yeah, I would love to hear how this eclipse is showing up for you guys. So really, you can drop your rising sign and what resonates most with you. You can drop that in the comments below. Also, let me know where you are watching this from, and if you found it helpful. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys all so much for being here. And also know that, yeah, you are exactly where you need to be. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the other videos. And thank you, Stain, Laura, Arno. Thank you guys so much. Sending a lot of love. Bye-bye.